Moving
So,
on to the next question. When it has to do with lands that are under government acquisition, how do I know if the land is free or if the government might take it back later?
that's a very good question. Very, very, and in fact, one of the most important questions you've asked. Because there are a lot of people now, they are crying.
Very
They
true.
are looking at their hard-earned investments going to waste because they did not do what they were supposed to do at the initial time. That's why I will keep saying it. Always engage the service of a lawyer before you proceed to do anything.
You can't go wrong with that.
Because just for you to save yourself this heartache. So, most importantly, there are some things you need to do. You need to do a search at the land registry. Conduct your search at the land registry to know whether the land is committed, is under government acquisition, to know the status of your property. You need to know it. You need to verify the land registry. And also charting reports. You need to chart your land. You know, a lot of people still make mistakes, which I have actually seen one before. Or okay, during my course of doing my due diligence, I encountered something strange.
Okay.
So this seller the buyer came to me and said, please, help me do my due diligence. So I want to purchase a property. Okay, fine. He said, these are the documents that was given to me. I checked the documents. Okay, I saw the survey.
Okay.
Okay. Usually, I chart the land. The land itself, we go to the land, we pick coordinates, and we chart it. So I just say, okay, for the time being, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Let me just send this to my contact person at the Surveyor General's office.
Okay.
So when the person charted the survey, the person said it is fine. The land is good. Meanwhile, while our team of surveyors went to the land, to the actual land to pick coordinates, and when they picked the coordinates, they sent it to the Surveyor General's office.
Okay.
When the result came out, it came out bad.
Wow.
So what these people did was that they used another person's land to prepare the survey. So they now change the address, change all the information, change it. So it's now as if it's the information on that property, meanwhile it's on another property. So you as someone that wants to buy, you will now take the survey, you send it to your surveyor to chart, and the surveyor will now be charting a wrong information, a wrong survey, and it's going to definitely give you a wrong answer, a wrong report.
Yes.
So you need to chart the property itself, the physical property. You need to visit the property physically and chart the land so you can know the details.
So many dramas in the industry.
Mm.
Thank you very much.
All right. As I said, the result comes in diverse form.
Okay.
There are some that comes in as free.
Okay.
When it comes in as free, you are free to buy it.
Okay.
There are some that comes in and state that they are under acquisition. It is risky. It is risky, but there are times when you buy such property and they later convert that property. You regularize.
Okay.
And there are times when the land is committed. When it is committed, you know what? Run.
Let it be at the back of your head.
You run. Then there are times when the land is excised. So, but I tell people that when you see a land that is excised, ensure that it's also gazetted. So, get the record of the gazette so that you can also conduct the search on the land. So, let me explain. The excision is just a way of saying, a way of the government saying we no longer need this land again. So, we return it back to the community. So,
thank you very much.
All right.
And so we have another question, or I have another question that I would like to ask. And the next question is, when it comes to governor's consents, why is it important? Because people keep mentioning governor's consents, and I would like to know and let the people know what it is and if we must get it.
All right. So let me start by saying consent is abstract. You cannot say consent now.
So,
It's abstract. So let me just correct that notion. When you say governor's consent, most especially I regard it as a registered deed, either your registered deed of assignment,
okay.
your registered deed of lease, registered deed of sublease, and the likes.
Wow.
So for governor's consent, let me just call it that way. So for governor's consent in Nigeria, all land belongs to the government,
Government. Very
belongs to
true.
that state government. So there are times when in a state, a particular portion of a property may belong to the federal government, but most parts belongs to the
The
state
state
government.
government.
Yes. So they are holding it in trust for the citizen. You understand? So now the Land Use Act of 1979 already states that before there's a transfer of interest from one person to another, the governor must consent to it. You understand? But in reality, the bureaucracy of our government now, before you could obtain governor's consent before you buy a property, you must have lost interest, or probably you must have used the money for another thing or sold it to
Yes.
another person.
The
So
procedure is
because it
always
is
long.
not possible to get the governor's consent before buying property, so you can do it retrospectively. You do it after you've already purchased the property. So you bought a property now, the governor has not given his consent.
Consent.
So you need to get that consent later. You understand? So the thing is, as it is now, I am the owner of the property. I have registered my interest, for instance,
Okay.
already, and I want to resell to another person. As it is now, the government only recognize me as the
And not
owner
the third
and not the third
party.
party. They don't know you yet. Not until you now register that, okay, the interest has been passed. That is when they will now register that you are the new owner. You
Of the
understand? So
property.
it is a very, very important thing to do. Even though it takes money, but it protects your investment legally.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And so moving on to the next question. We'll be rounding up soon. Just have a few more questions to
All
ask.
right.
So moving on to the next question. Is buying off-plan properties safe? Because some friends are buying off-plan homes, and I would want to know if it is safe, like how safe it is for us to get off-plan property.
Yeah, nice one. So I would say it actually depends. It depends. And buying off plan means you are buying from trust. You're buying from trust. So, but you need to check out some things before you even proceed to pay or to buy from these people. So one thing you need to know is the developer's history. You need to check their
The track
history.
record.
Yes. If this person has a lot of negative history on delivery, because there are some they will tell you, oh, okay, I will deliver this
Next 12
property at this
months.
after 5 years, they are still backing to get their property. You need to know, you need to verify, confirm from developers' history. You also need to check if they have building approvals. There's this scenario that happened in Ikota sometime, I think 2 years ago or last year, when they were demolishing properties in Ikota. Most of them also bought from developers. The developer do not have, especially when the land is maybe on a committed structure, they will never approve they will never approve it.
The building.
The building, they won't approve it. And also sometimes too, they use lesser quality of
Building
materials.
material.
Yes. So, and building approvals, they check a lot of things before you start building, during your building stage and after. So if your building doesn't have an approval initially, so it could actually signify an existing problem. So you need to confirm if this structure, especially if you are buying a house, if this structure has a building approval. Then also you need to know the payment structure, so that they won't just start giving you different surprises. They will start ambushing you with different payments. So you need to know their structure. They will come tomorrow and tell you that you are supposed to pay for 6 months
You
and
pay
you did
2
not pay.
months.
And you pay too much. They are telling you they want to refund your money, less 40, 50, 60%. Part of your money is gone. So also the completion time. You must know when they are set to complete the
Complete
structure.
it.
Yes, you need to know that. And then also you need to have a legal agreement concerning that. You need to have
For
a very solid
everything,
agreement.
there must be an agreement.
There must be. So don't rush to buying all these things. That's why I will keep saying it. You need to get your lawyer.
Property land.
Get your property lawyer before you proceed, before you do anything. Hope I'm able to answer your
Yes,
questions.
yes, yes. Yes,
Mhm.
thank you very much.
You're
Because
welcome.
sometimes we just say it's like, oh, the developer says, in the next 2 years the building should be ready, and
Mhm.
then we just take it like that. Give or take. This is another investment. Let me invest, but we don't
Yes.
do due diligence
We
on
don't, we don't.
most
And
of the
later
things.
on, we now start crying out, this is what happened, this is what
Sometimes
happened.
it can just
They
be
might
like
even say it's a witch hunting. I've heard that
a
before.
village people thing. Village people thing. But sometimes it's just like out of our ignorance.
Hmm.
But yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.